Over a month ago in mid-June, I began my journey across Canada. But today's episode is where you really start to appreciate just how big this country is. Up to now, I crossed Canada in pieces. Long drives through the Maritimes, ferries between provinces, and then trains through the country's main population corridor from Quebec City to Toronto. But today everything changes. I'm back behind the wheel, and from here out it's one continuous drive across the country. This leg takes me from Toronto to Sudbury, and then west to Sault Ste. Marie. From here on out, there's no breaking it up. Just the road, and a very long way to go. Just north of Barrie, the landscape starts to change. Exposed rock, thinner soil, the first signs that I'm entering the Canadian Shield. Kinda cool, we got the little flag here on the rock. Nice. Before Sudbury, I made a stop at the French River, a critical waterway used by Indigenous people and early French traders as a route between the St. Lawrence River system and Lake Huron. Even Samuel de Champlain, the founder of New France, traveled this route as early as 1615 AD. It's interesting here, they talk about the competition between the Hudson Bay and also the Northwest Company. These were two large trading companies that were responsible for really kicking off the fur trade in this area in a massive way. This is Alexander Mackenzie, one of the main men in charge of the Northwest Company, and this was the governor of the Hudson Bay Company, George Simpson, whose company would end up winning out over the Northwest. And I'm walking down a little trail here right near the visitor center at French River, which will take me to the actual river itself. Good to get out of the car for a little bit for a little walk. And yes, the landscape here is definitely the beginnings of the Canadian Shield. So for the next 4 days, I'm going to be driving through areas of wilderness like this and be attacked by the flies and the mosquitoes, much more. So let's get back in that car and continue the journey up towards Sudbury. This is the former St. Joseph's Hospital. It's not the only mural in the city. They have dozens of them. So I'm going to go around town and show you a few of the other ones, including one special one. And we're going to take a look at the different murals of Sudbury. Something fun that this little city has to offer. Jesus fucking Christ. Traffic. So the city of Sudbury is the first big city on my trip across the Canadian Shield as I head out further west, and it is probably the biggest city in the Canadian Shield as well. But this evening I just gonna chill around the city, check out some of the murals, and take it easy. Greater Sudbury's collection of colorful murals grew out of a citywide effort to revitalize downtown and celebrate local identity. What began as a community art project in 2013 has since grown into 50 plus colorful murals across the city. Nice. This one here was one of the favorites that I spotted on the internet before coming here doing the research. I don't know, it's just kind of unique. So this one here is funky and psychedelic, very cool. And also in the long distance this way, beautiful. Looks more indigenous or native style, and I love the colors. So that's 3 murals right here on this quiet little street, and kind of another one up here if you look up above the building. Let's see if I could go back and get a better view of it. And we got some good old-fashioned graffiti as well, but not official murals. And just across the street from the Heart of Gold one, there is yet another mural. Jeez, I feel like I'm mural hunting right now. So it's a lot of fun spotting these two. And this one is more of an Asian lady. Nice. A lot of homeless people here, and panhandlers on the corners as well. Kind of surprising. Wasn't expecting to see that. I saw a lot more like poverty in Toronto than I saw in any of the other cities in Canada. Quebec was fine. The Maritimes was good. Ottawa and Toronto, I started to see a lot more of it. But now here in Sudbury, I'm seeing a lot of it as well, which is quite surprising. We do have an issue here with that, I guess. And here's our last mural of the day. Alex Trebek, the host of Jeopardy!
I think it's very fun. It's called Nerdcore Hip Hop. It's
Nerdcore
Hip Hop. Yes. People who identify as nerdy, rapping about the things they love, video games, science fiction, having a hard time meeting romantic partners, you know. It's really catchy and fun.
Losers, in other words.
Well,
he was born here in Sudbury in 1940.
No shit.
He went on to work for the CBC in 1960s, and then in 1984 he became the host of the game show Jeopardy! And he is Sudbury's finest, or one of Sudbury's finest, I would presume. And what a great mural. Wow, this one's fantastic. And it's cool to be in his hometown. All right, lights going down for the day, so that's the last of my mural hunting. There's probably about a dozen more I could check out too, but those were the big ones that I researched that I wanted to see in person first. So fun little thing to do if you do decide to make it up to Sudbury. You get to see a bit of the town that way, which is nice too. It rained last night, so the heat of the past few days has lifted. Kind of chilly out today, and it's my last morning here in Sudbury, and before I leave I'm gonna visit a place called Science North. The building here is a huge, massive complex which was built in 1984. Let's go in this building and see what this place is all about. Science North. Okay. Wow. Big introduction here. Okay, we're just gonna come up here and pay the admission, which is $28. Okay. All right, so the entrance fee cost me $31.64. All right, that's pretty cool. Okay, not sure what this has to do with science, but it's wow. It's impressive though. Wow. Outstanding. Let's get out of here. Oh. And this is a cool tunnel entrance into the museum, which is 4 floors. So I was told a good strategy is to go up to the 4th floor and then work your way down from there. Oh wow. It looked pretty big from the outside, but being inside you realize how much larger this place is. Very cool.
Kneel down next to the person.
Technique needs some work. The 3rd floor here is dedicated towards the nature. Hello, dude. Just as curious. Okay. Interesting. So just outside the museum, they also have a little boardwalk, a walking area where you can get next to the water here. Alright, so here's a better view from the museum on the outside and the water over here. The Science North, I'm going to give that one a 8 out of 10. It was interesting, it was good, but it's mainly geared towards children, which is awesome. I think if you have kids and a family, it would be a great place to come and teach your kids about different aspects of science, primarily related to rocks and minerals, but also the human body and animals as well. So. Ahead of me is the world's largest nickel. Very cool. It's based on the 1951 Canadian nickel coin, which featured King George V. And it's a good representation for the city of Sudbury because this area contains one of the largest nickel deposits in the world and a lot of other elements as well. Let's continue the drive west out of Sudbury towards Sault Ste. Marie.